Your water company sends you a bill every 6 months and you pay it. Of course you do, but here is something they never print on that letter. Roughly 2 million British households are paying for a service they are legally allowed to stop paying for tomorrow morning, and most of them are pensioners. Number 14 on this list could knock a third off your bill with one phone call, and the company on the other end is hoping you never make it. Number 3 is so effective that staff were once told not to mention it unless a customer asked first. None of these are actually against the law, they just call them illegal because the companies would rather you believed that than picked up the phone. Stick around, hit subscribe, because by the end of this you will know more than the bloke who wrote your bill. Let us count down from 25. Number 25. Read your own meter. Sounds too simple to matter, but here is the catch. If you have a water meter and you never send a reading, the company estimates it, and estimates are almost never in your favor. They round up, because rounding up is good for them. Your mum's generation would have called this daylight robbery. Go out to the little plastic cover in the pavement or by the boundary wall, lift it, write down the numbers, and phone them in or pop them online. Do it every 6 months. Pensioners who switched from estimated to actual readings have found bills drop by £40, £60, sometimes more in a single year, because the estimate was built on the water habits of a 4-person family when there are only 2 of you left in the house. Number 24. The empty room rule. Water bills for unmetered homes are based on something called ratable value, a figure set decades ago when your house had a full family in it. The system does not care that the kids moved out in 1994, but you can care. If you live alone or as a couple in a home rated for far more, switching to a meter or an assessed charge resets the whole calculation around what 2 people actually use. A retired couple in a 3-bed semi can be paying the same standing charge as the noisy family of 6 next door. Same pipes, same street, wildly different fairness. The ratable system quietly punishes the people who use the least, and pensioners use the least. Number 23. Ask for the free gadgets. Every water company in Britain gives away water-saving devices and almost nobody knows it. Cistern displacement bags that cut a litre from every flush, tap aerators, shower regulators, the lot. They are free. You order them online or by phone and they post them out. A displacement bag in the toilet cistern alone saves a metered household several pounds a year, and they will send you one for nothing because they are legally encouraged to promote water efficiency. Your grandmother put a brick in the cistern to do exactly this in 1976. The company just sells you the polite modern version of the brick and posts it for free. Order 3. There is no limit anyone enforces. Number 22. The single occupancy assessed charge. If you cannot have a meter fitted, and many older flats and shared supply terraces genuinely cannot, you are not stuck with the full ratable bill. You can ask for an assessed household charge instead, based on the number of people living in the property. For a widow or widower living alone, this is enormous. The assessed charge for a single occupant is dramatically lower than the charge for a notional full household. They will not offer this. You have to say the words, assessed charge for a single occupant. Say them. Number 21. The meter trial nobody mentions. Here is one they truly keep quiet. When you switch to a water meter, you are not locked in. By law, if the meter turns out to cost you more than your old fixed bill, you can switch back to unmetered charges within 24 months of it being fitted. 24 months. That means a meter is a free, risk-free experiment. If it saves you money, you keep it. If it costs you more, you ring up before the 2 years are out, and they have to put you back. There is no downside, only the gamble they hope you are too nervous to take. Most pensioner households save on a meter. The few who do not simply switch back. First pattern break. Here is where it stops being tips and starts being the stuff they really do not advertise. Number 20. The surface water drainage rebate. This is the big one most people have never heard of. Your bill includes a charge for surface water drainage, the rainwater that runs off your roof and into the public sewer. But if your home's rainwater does not go into the public sewer, if it drains into a soakaway, a water butt system, a ditch, or onto your own land, you should not be paying that charge at all. Bungalows, older rural cottages, and properties with soakaways are routinely charged for a service they do not receive. The rebate can be £30 to £100 a year, and crucially, when you prove it, some companies will backdate it. Pensioners have reclaimed several £100s in one go. They print this charge on the bill in tiny letters and trust that you will never question what it is for. Number 19. The highway drainage check. Closely related and just as quietly applied. Part of your sewerage charge can relate to highway and road drainage. In certain circumstances and certain regions, depending on how your property connects, elements of this are challengeable. It is fiddlier than the surface water rebate, and not every home qualifies, but it costs you nothing to ask the question. The companies bank on the charge sounding so official and unavoidable that no pensioner would ever dream of querying it. Number 18. The septic tank exemption. If your home is not connected to the public sewer, if you have a septic tank or a private treatment system, you should not be paying sewerage charges to the water company at all. Yet thousands of rural properties, many owned by older people who inherited the house decades ago, are billed for foul sewerage they are not connected to. If that is you, every penny of the sewerage portion of your bill has been wrongly taken. This is the kind of error that, once spotted, produces a refund letter that genuinely makes people sit down. Check your bill for a sewerage line. If you are on a septic tank, that line should not exist. Number 17. WaterSure, the cap they hide. Now we are into the schemes that exist specifically to protect people, which is exactly why they are buried. WaterSure caps your metered water bill at the average for your area, no matter how much you use. To qualify, you need to be on a qualifying benefit and either have 3 or more children at home, or a medical condition that means you use a lot of extra water. Pensioners with kidney conditions, incontinence, weeping skin conditions, or other illnesses that mean constant washing, laundry, or fluid use qualify and never realize it. The cap can save hundreds a year. It exists by law. The application form is not on the front page of anything. Number 16. The social tariff flaw. Second pattern break. Controversy incoming. Every single water company in England and Wales is required to offer a social tariff, a reduced bill for low-income households. They have names like Big Difference, Help You, WaterSure Plus, Light, and a dozen others designed so you can never quite remember them. Discounts run from 15% to, in some cases, more than 50% off the bill. Pension credit, low income, and being over state pension age are common qualifiers. Here is the controversial bit. Take-up is shockingly low, often under a third of those eligible, and the companies know exactly who qualifies from their own data, but are not required to enroll you automatically, so they do not. Millions of pounds of help sits unclaimed every year by design, because an unclaimed discount is money they keep. Number 15. The Priority Services Register. This one is free, and most pensioners qualify the moment they hit retirement age. The Priority Services Register gives you extra support, advance warning of supply interruptions, bottled water deliveries if your supply is cut, large print or braille bills, password schemes so no stranger can con their way onto your doorstep, and priority help in an emergency. It costs nothing. It does not reduce your bill directly, but it protects you, and it flags you as a vulnerable customer who should be offered every assistance scheme going. Getting on it is often the trigger that unlocks the tariffs above. Number 14. WaterSure Wales and Help You. If you live in Wales, Welsh Water runs Help You, a capped tariff for lower-income households that can slash bills dramatically, and there is no benefit and children hoop to jump through the way the English cap demands. The Welsh schemes are among the most generous in Britain, and yet plenty of older Welsh households on tight pensions have never been told they exist. One phone call to check your eligibility can be worth more than your entire winter fuel payment. The form is short. The saving is not. Number 13. The leak allowance refund. Here is a trick that turns a disaster into a refund. If you are on a meter and a hidden pipe leaks under the garden, under the floor, you can be charged for thousands of litres you never used. But every company operates a leak allowance scheme. Report the leak, get it repaired, and they will recalculate your bill as if the leak never happened, often refunding the inflated amount. Pensioners who quietly paid a frightening £400 bill after a burst supply pipe have had almost all of it returned simply by asking for the leak allowance. They will not volunteer it when you ring up panicking about the bill. You have to know the magic words. Number 12. The Customer Assistance Trust Fund. Third pattern break. Most water companies sit on a charitable trust fund set up with their own money that can write off water debt entirely. Names like the Severn Trent Trust Fund, the Thames Water Trust Fund, and others. If you have fallen behind, these funds can clear arrears, sometimes wiping the slate completely clean. They are run at arm's length, the application is means tested, and an older person on a fixed pension who has slipped into debt is precisely who they are meant to help. The company will chase you for the debt long before anyone mentions that their own trust fund could erase it. The fund exists. The reminder letters do not point to it. Number 11. Water direct from your benefits. If you receive pension credit or certain other benefits and you have water arrears, you can have a small fixed amount taken directly from your benefit to cover ongoing water and chip away at the debt. It is called Water Direct, and it stops the threatening letters dead. No bailiffs, no debt collectors, no stress. For a pensioner lying awake worrying about a red bill, this is the scheme that lets them sleep. It is administered through the DWP and your water company, and almost nobody is told it is an option until they are already frightened. Number 10. Check the rateable value itself. For the millions still on unmetered bills, the entire charge hangs on a rateable value figure fixed in 1990 and frozen ever since. But errors crept in. Properties were sometimes recorded with the wrong band, the wrong size, or features they do not have. If your rateable value is wrong, your bill has been wrong for 30 years. It is worth digging out the figure and comparing it to similar homes nearby. A pensioner who discovers their bungalow was rated as if it had an extension that was never built can have decades of overcharging recognized. The companies inherited these figures and have no incentive to question them in your favor. Number 9. The assessed volume charge. If your home genuinely cannot take a meter, the company must offer you an alternative to the rateable bill called the assessed volume charge, calculated on the type of property and the number of occupants, rather than that ancient rateable figure. For a small flat with one elderly occupant, the assessed volume charge is frequently the cheapest option on the table, and it is the one they mention last. Ask for a comparison of every charging option side by side and make them put it in writing. Number 8. The water efficiency home visit. Several companies run free home visits where a real person comes round, checks your taps, your toilet, your shower, and your pipework, fits free water-saving devices on the spot, and finds leaks you did not know you had. For an older person who cannot easily get under the sink or up to the loft, this is gold, and it is free. They will fix dripping fittings, swap your shower head, and leave the bill lower than they found it. You simply have to ask whether your supplier offers it, because they will not knock on your door uninvited. Number 7. The bereavement and change of occupancy reset. When a spouse passes away and a two-person household becomes one, the water charge should change, and on a meter or assessed charge it will dramatically. But unmetered bills do not adjust automatically when occupancy drops. A widow can carry on paying a two-person notional charge for years. Reporting the change of occupancy and switching to a single occupant assessed charge or a meter at that point is one of the single biggest savings on this entire list, and it is the one nobody wants to bring up at exactly the moment it matters most. Number 6. The estimated bill challenge. If a bill lands that is wildly higher than usual and it is marked estimated, you do not have to pay the estimate. You give them an actual meter reading and they must rebill to the true figure. Pensioners have been frightened into paying estimated bills 2 or 3 times the real amount, then never reclaimed the difference. An estimate is a guess, and you are allowed to correct a guess. Always check the small letter E next to the reading. Number 5. The payment plan smoothing. Fourth pattern break. You do not have to pay your water bill in 2 great lumps that wreck your budget twice a year. You can demand it be spread into small monthly or even weekly installments at no extra cost. For someone managing on a state pension, turning a frightening £230 half-yearly bill into a gentle £19 a month changes everything, and it does not cost a penny more in total. The companies prefer the lump sum because lump sums catch people out, generate late fees, and tip the vulnerable into debt. A smoothed payment plan is your legal right, and asking for it cannot be refused. Number 4. The Benefits Health Check link. Many water companies now partner with money advice services and will, if you let them, run a full benefits check while sorting your tariff. A pensioner who phones up about their water bill can come off the call having discovered they were entitled to pension credit, attendance allowance, or council tax reduction they never knew about, worth thousands a year, and pension credit is itself the golden key that unlocks half the schemes on this list. One water call has, for some, been the thread that unraveled years of unclaimed support. Number 3. The Hardship pause. This is the one staff were quietly told to keep for customers who pushed. If you genuinely cannot pay, companies can place your account on hold, freeze the debt, stop interest and charges, and protect you from disconnection. Household water in Britain cannot legally be cut off over debt anyway, a fact they are in no rush to advertise, because a customer who believes they might lose their water pays out of fear. You cannot be disconnected. Let that sink in. The Hardship pause buys you breathing room while the bigger schemes are sorted, and it is offered last, if at all, only to those who know to ask. Number 2. The Backdated refund claim. Tie several of these together and the real prize appears. Surface water rebates, septic tank errors, wrong ratable values, and misapplied charges can all be backdated when you prove them, sometimes for years. The companies will happily correct a charge going forward while staying very quiet about the money already taken. The phrase that unlocks the check is, "I would like this backdated and refunded." Pensioners have received 4-figure refunds for charges they should never have paid, money that was theirs all along, sitting in the company's account, waiting for someone to ask the right question. Number 1. The Consumer Council for Water. And in first place, the thing the companies least want you to know exists. If your water company refuses any of the above, drags its feet, or fobs you off, you do not have to accept it. The Consumer Council for Water is a free, independent watchdog that takes up your case for you, leans on the company, and gets results at no cost whatsoever. It is the referee the companies have to answer to, and they would much rather you never learned its name. A single complaint through CCW has reversed wrong bills, forced refunds, and secured tariffs that the company had flatly denied. It is the great equalizer. The pensioner with the watchdog's number is no longer the easy target the system was built around. Here is my challenge. Pick just one. Phone up and say, assessed charge, or social tariff, or surface water rebate, and see what happens. Then come back and tell me in the comments how much they tried to keep from you, because I would bet it is more than you think. Your water company knew. Now you know too.